Good morning, everyone. In today's video, I will continue solving exam 1 for my students at Ajman University. And again, this is the week 4 to 5, and that can be also suitable for all students learning within the playlist for the Revit Elementary course. So again, this is a basic video targeting those who spend like 4 or 5 weeks studying with me at Ajman University, or those who finished a couple of, I think 4 or 5 videos in the elementary Revit course on my YouTube channel. So if you can recall from the previous video, we managed to create the external walls with the physical material, and we also created the wall inside, or the partitions, as you can see, attaching the both walls and external and internal walls to the level above, which is here called first floor. So now it's the time to go to create the slab. If you go back to the question paper, we have a slab of a 200 mil thickness, so 30 by 20, and then 150 as concrete in situ. So in order to do that, and again, this is a basic example, a basic exam. We are not going to detail the floor underneath or beneath our feet and make it different from the one above us, but rather we are going to use the same exact video. Maybe in the later videos or later exams, I'm going to detail that into different types of slabs. So in order to create that, I will be prefer to go to the ground floor, and I'm going to floors and then define the required slab or floor. I'm going to get edit type, duplicate, and then just define it as a 30 mil tiles, and then let's say 20 mil concrete, and then 150 concrete cast in situ. And then it's really important to add your name. 150 as a structural part is more than enough. It's exactly a happy coincidence. So I'm going to keep the structural part, just you need to apply a material. So just write here concrete. And here we go, that's the cast in situ. So we loaded actually the material in the right place. Insert and then go up, change that. And in this case, this is the issue because I'm assuming that we're going to use the slab beneath and above are actually the same. So whatever you're going to use here, finish 4 and 5, will be accepted for the exam or for the basic modeling techniques. Again, it should be divided into 2 slabs, the one beneath and one above. But for the sake of the exam, for this today exam, it's a very basic one. So I'm going to assume that's on a level 5. And as you notice in the walls, we did not assume that. And that's just for the current condition. And again, I'm going to detail that in a later lecture if you follow the playlist, the exact location of the video, this video on the playlist. So again, this shall be changed or must be changed according to the location. And just to emphasize again on that, I'm going to insert another one. I'm going to assume it's also an internal one, and we have a 30 by 20, and this guy should be tiles. I don't care what type of tiles, any tiles going to pop up, I'm going to choose it. You can specify later on what type of tile you want, and you can even design it in detail. Again, not in this level. That's the secret. So this is more than enough for me. I'm going to say okay, and then okay again. And again, I'm going to pick the external lines. You shouldn't actually, again, we're going to detail that later. You should pick this line specifically. But for the sake of making it very basic modeling, I'm going to select the external one, which is leaving the slab to be shown from the elevation or any perspective, which is a kind of ugly and not realistic, but it's again, it's a generic modeling, so I'm going to assume that will be accepted. The slab inside is 0, as you can see in the plan. Outside is different. I want to see if there is an extension of that. There is none, so the slab exactly located under the building only at that specific level. Now Revit is making sure to connect the lines to be starting and ending exactly at each point, but it wouldn't hurt you to have a look at this corner, each corner, actually make sure they are, you know, meeting each other. There is no gaps or overlapping, otherwise you're gonna get a very annoying warning messages and the kind of orange dotted to show you where it's opened or overlap. Specify where its location. I'm gonna be in the ground floor for now, so I'm gonna say yes, that's it. And the fastest way to deal with it is to copy that guy and just paste it, copy, not that copy, of course, but this one. So you can send it to the clipboard or copy to clipboard and then paste it. Align to the first level, more than a paste actually, but the original one is here, paste. When you generate this, when you do this process via the copy paste, it won't make an attach. That's a bit of annoying, and of course you are not supposed to do that manually, so select everything you can reach, go to filter, remove the walls or anything else, sorry, remove the floors or anything else. If there's any level you selected, just remove them, just keep the walls, and again just attach top and then select the slab. I have this issue also with my beginner student. They just hover above the middle of the thing. Try to select the edges of the slab so you get it once nice and clean like this click, as you can see. That's been done with one shot, really nice. Now it's completed. Let's have a look at the 3D if there is any cantilever or any extension. There is an extension here, don't worry freaking out. So just take this one, go to edit boundary. Very wrong, by the way, to fix things in the perspective the way I do, but too lazy to do the other way around. Select those two things and hit TR, okay, for trim. And then the same thing, it's gonna ask you now the question that's gonna pop if you want to do it manually on the level 1 to attach the walls. Of course, go attach, and again you're gonna see the slab. I said that shouldn't be done, but again it's okay for this phase of learning. We are here for week 4, so we are very beginner, the very early phases, so it's okay to leave it that way. Now it's the time to look at the first floor, and as you can see, I have the habit of making the, you know, constructional envelope part and external one, or the internal one, which is mainly walls and partition, external walls and partition, and slabs, parapets. Then go back for the doors and windows, which has less priority for me. And that means GF is finished. Now first floor, jumping in, it's having the same walls as beneath, and it's just located on 2 to 3 B to C. So you're gonna do that. So we have this guy here. Yep. So the 50mm brick, it's really nice idea to go to the first floor to do that instead of the pane. And you can see lots of distraction here in the way, and the distraction caused by first the pattern, the tile pattern. So hit VV on the keyboard or VG, whatever suits you, and go to the floor. Always make sure that when you select the floor, don't turn the floor as a 3D element, but rather the pattern part of the projection. So the elevated part, the part you see in the places where you don't cut, so the pattern when you see it as an elevation or projection, and remove that guy from the foreground and hit OK, and that is sufficient to get rid of the annoying tiles for that level of work. Now you can see again the student also complain they are actually seeing the lower levels partitions. Again, that's happened due to the view property. It's not an object property. And remember, as we said per lecture, if you don't select anything in the Revit, the property panel will just show you the view property. So scroll down to the underlay and just simply remove that guy to none. So don't show me what underlay here, and that's much better, less painful to the eyes actually, unless you need that detail to work on the partition. But for me, I know very well that I'm gonna need B, C, and 2 and 3, so no need for the headache, and it's a good idea to remove those things. Now the benefit of having your names popping up, it's really easy to select which wall you created. Make sure it's not a finished face. I'm gonna use the core center line and make sure that the levels detail here are set to fine, and again make sure you are doing the external part of the wall facing the outside, so that goes enough. Goes I think clockwise to get the correct result usually, but anyway, if it doesn't happen, just hit space in the keyboard. Those things are nicely placed. Go to 3D. Of course the height will be ugly and wrong, as you can see. Again, we need to check both east and both we check east and north elevation. Now as you can see, it's a mess up as a tagging thing. It's okay, but again you have to create the level. So I'm gonna be stick to the east elevation. It's look like more have been taken care of. I just extend this guy here, and I'm keeping this bubble, so I show you the error you're gonna get if you keep them at that level. You might not getting, and actually I'm gonna lower them to make sure that the error will show when I go to design the roof. So we need a level, and I had no idea where is it. So let's go to elevation and zoom in and see what the roof is been located. It's 7,500. Beautiful. So go to levels and just whatever this, I don't need to waste time on it. Some double click in here. I didn't mean to break it at all, so I'm just cutting the command with a couple of escape. The breaking here is really liking me today. That's 7,500, and not the roof, not the level 3, but rather we call it roof. So rename the whole thing and accept the default setting to rename everything accordingly. And while we are here, it would be a great opportunity to get rid of the parapet. So as it's shown here, it's a 1000 mil, and again 1000 mil here. That's nice. So let's do that. So just copy that, and remember, when you copy, it's gonna create a level but without a floor plan. Okay, see, it's a black head. That means it doesn't have any plan associated with, not like when you create it from the architecture level. It's gonna create a level and a floor plan. That's what we named it roof in a couple of seconds ago. Anywho, 8,500 here. So probably you need to break it because the text is actually overlapped. So break it and then push it up. And the name definitely need to be changed. So roof parapet. And this poor thing need to be copied also. So copy that guy up 1,000. I'm dragging randomly, as you can see. So that's 1,000. And again, a break, push that up. And naming is really important. So I'm going to say FF parapet again. And here we go. As well here, let's do those two things. So top fence and bottom of the fence, it's 0 and 1500. So it's the time to copy. So push that at 1000 up and break it. And here we go. That's the top of fence. And copy that guy down. 500 is enough. And break it. And drag it down a little bit more. And that's the bottom of fence. And that's it. You know, all level has been set. Try to recognize and understand the black head from the blue head. The black head again doesn't have any floor plan associated with it, so just levels. The blue one is both levels and floor plans. So now that's been done. It's the north elevation look nice, and sorry, the east elevation is actually looking nice. So now we can get back to the modeling, and again first the floor, I mean 3D. hover above the wall, hit tab and click, and then from the top concentrate, just choose the I don't know, what is it, roof, isn't it? Yep, this one, and hit apply. Now in the roof, you can go to the roof and create the slab, or just go first floor, which will be less painful. So floor, and again I'm picking the external walls, as you can see, and this time I'm placing it above. So yep, here on the roof, and hit apply. And when you finish, of course it's going to ask you to attach, accept, and go back, and as you can see, nice. Now the parapet, while we are in it, so let's go to roof, and that's really the scary part. And that happened due, because you don't see that the grid is not actually being extended sufficiently or correctly. And as you see, the roof is here. That's what we was looking at. We are looking at above the roof by like 4 feet or something, and doesn't mean that I'm intersecting with the grids. That's why the grid is not being shown. So you have to make the grid is actually higher as a level than the roof itself in order to get this intersection. When the intersection happen, you're gonna see the ABC part of the grid shown. That's what the student also complain about, why I'm seeing ABC, because you just intersect them without the 1 2 3, and the 1 2 3 mean you need to go to fix the other elevation. That's the time you have to set all in a proper way, seeing for that alignment blue line, so they all getting attached to each other. And also for those with me in the class, I will cut grade if you don't fix this overlapping. The overlapping mean you don't know how to do it, so you're gonna lose grade for it, boys and girls. So make sure that you fix this accordingly by using this elbow or breaking tool, whatever you want to call it. It won't take a second, so please do it and give a good indication of an organized professional work rather than the messy thing if you don't, if they are overlapping. Anyhow, now push that up as you did in the other elevation. Now the things here look much better. So if you go roof, you're supposed to see both X and Y, or horizontal and vertical grids. Now you should go and select one by one and tick the thing in here, but a bit boring, right? So go to the GF and select those guys and hit Control and select those guys and try to pick the propagate. Pick that on the roof and then pick that on the ceiling. Sorry, first the floor. And because usually student, go check in the ceiling things, and ceiling things are as a plan they're looking up, not as those guys. And I didn't actually click on them yet, so sometimes they click on them and they go to the floor plan and doesn't see anything happen. Anyway, that will guarantee at least to fix this issue for me, as you can see. And imagine if you have a tower with a 200 level or 150 level and you want to do the grid one by one, I'm pretty sure that your boss will kick you out of the company. So don't do that. Just use the propagate tool here to whatever decision, to propagate the decision you create on one level of a grid to the any other group of levels that you want. So that's it. That's for the making of the grid and making for the modeling. Now we need to go to make the partition, the parapets. The parapets, I think it's been as a specification, it's been given here in the, where is it? The paper. So let's do that. It's where is it? First floor located in 4,000. Parapet is 100 mil brick. Beautiful. 1,000 mil. So that's all we need. So again, don't start from nothing. There's a 900 mil brick wall. Get it and duplicate it and just say 100 brick and then your name. I don't know what happened with the brackets, keep coming to me. Edit the type there and make it 100. It's easier than creating from a generic one, so try to pick the suitable closer to your work wall or any type of other family you want to create. Make sure you have a fence exterior. You might need to get rid of the grid if they are making problems for you. This wall should be go straight to the upper level, but I can look now, it's unconnected, which is that dispute my hypothesis badly. It's gonna be high and ugly again. No worries, just hover and tab and click and pick that guy to be top of the roof or roof parapet, whatever we call it. Same technique you use in the first floor. Go all over around the slab. So you need to go to first floor and again to the wall. The previous wall will be picked automatically, and just for God's sake, just pick the top of the fence for the first floor parapet here from the beginning and hit apply, rather than leaving the sofa for the extra step. That's good if if you create the levels from the beginning. It depends, because in a bigger building with lots of levels, it will be very hard to pick the correct level. It will be painful. So create the wall and then create the level only for it. It depends on, for a small project, it doesn't really matter. Actually, in a small project, making the level previous to the parapet is much better, but that's not really true in the bigger projects. So let's close that. It should be now nice and fine. As you can see, that's the external walls been placed properly. Now I'm gonna place the outside quickly. I think we passed 20 minutes already, so I'm just gonna do the how long it's 20 minutes. So let's go make the ground floor quickly. So what do we have in here? Again, it's the ground floor. Back to the ground floor. It's a 4,000 on the left side, 4,000 on the right side, and the floor is actually stopping in here flush with the wall facing north, and then to stop down facing east and west. Beautiful. So we have a 4,000, 2,000 and 4,000. I wish I can remember all this, but let me try my weak memory over here. And it's just a normal floor, and you need to pick those guys as such quickly. All right, so those have been picked easily. Probably turning off the inner detail will make the paint less. We don't need this level of detail right now at that specific point. Now either go copy, or you can just activate the offset, so 2,500, and you can just pick the thing here. See, it's gonna draw it for you. Easier, the lazy method. And you can go here for 4,000 to the west and another 4,000 to the east, and that's the wrong thing, isn't it? Yep. So yeah, I'm gonna take for the grid, or from the grid, and go DI and add the dimension to this point. Yep, that's need fixed. So select the line and make it 4,000. Just too lazy to do it the other way around. Get rid of the dimension. Now TR on your keyboard and do the trim thing. This is a flush with this one. Oh god, now we need another one here. And how much? I absolutely don't remember. So it's a 2,000. Oh, it's a 3,000. Okay, it's a tricky question in here. And back, and probably you're gonna need to draw a line of a 3,000 down. That's for the ramp. Take it anywhere to the west. Make sure it's just horizontal. Then TR. Select both, and the life, you're gonna be really happy with you. Now that's been done as a sketching boundary. Now you need to know the level. It's a 400, so it's a minus 100 from the ground floor. You either everything you do related to the ground floor, or you simply just create a level for the walkway, which is going to be messy. So no, because we have two levels for the walkway, 400 and 300. So I'm referring to the ground floor, which is 500. So this guy should be minus 100 That's the ground floor. So minus 100 from the GF. Hit finish, and things going okay. Now VV again, and that's the painful pain of seeing the tiles. So I'm removing them out of the way. As you can see, much better. Now go to annotation, always check your work, have the spot, click 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then click 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and so on. After you create it once, just click copy paste, less pain than clicking 3 times. And that's it. This is the ground floor. This is the external slab has been placed normally, and the other part of it is just has been taken with the grid and completing the shape. So that's less pain. Let's do that. So just pick a line. I like, picking the lines. This is easy. It's a bit confusing, but you're gonna get used to it. Again, picking the turning of the detail here is really nice. So trim this dude with this guy, and yep, we need that guy with that guy, and then we need to trim this one. Oops. We need to trim this guy with this guy. That's what we want. That's what I want. See, no overlapping and no gaps, and it's a minus 200 because it's a 300 mil out of a 500, so it should be minus 200. Hit finish, and again, just take that guy, copy it like this to prove your work. Nice and neat. Copy that guy again and push it at the slab here. That will be, releasing the pain out of the whole thing. Now I'm gonna create another floor for the ramp. Again, picking the thing. And this time I'm not gonna be lazy. I'm gonna turn off the detail. And 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Now trim this one with this one, this one with this one. If you hit yes, you're gonna get error because of that. Don't do that. Trim it. Now this is a plain leveled floor, which we don't need. We need a slope. So I'm gonna place the arrow like that. Hit escape and then select the arrow itself. Now carefully read. It said height at tail. So at this point, I'm gonna say it's instead of the default, which is kind of ambiguous for me, I'm gonna say the ground floor. And I'm gonna offset that a minus 100 because it's a 400 out of the 500, and then level at the head, and I'm gonna say again GF, and again I'm gonna say minus 200 because inside is 500 and we have a 300 in here. I don't know where is my inside. Yeah, 500, so this is minus 200. Hit OK, and I wish that that's going right, and it's just go 3D. And as you can see, it's as smooth as you can get. Really nice. See? And flush and nothing. Now the last thing to add, last thing for today, is how to create ground floor, the fences. And actually, probably it's better to be in the next video because we passed, I think we passed half an hour. Yeah, so I'll postpone that, boys and girls, for the next video to make the fences and doors and windows. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and have a good night.